Hello, everyone. Welcome in. My name is Jarvis. I'm your host for tonight on Sold, where we educate, innovate, and elevate veterans in real estate. Are you a veteran or military personnel, active duty service member that is currently ready to take that leap into home ownership and ready to find that dream home of yours? If you are, this episode is for you. Stay tuned, and I'm going to go over the details of how to use your VA loan to purchase your dream home. So stay tuned. The VA loan is one of the most powerful tools and benefits that you have at your disposal as a veteran and or military personnel. And the reason for that is because it has specific advantages that other loans don't have. For an example, with the VA loan, there's no down payment. There's also no PMI, and it's competitive interest rates, meaning you're more than likely going to get a lower interest rate than a typical traditional loan, such as your FHA and conventional. So those are just a few things or a few reasons why the VA loan trumps most loans that are out there traditionally. It's just remarkable. It helps you purchase your home with almost little to no money down and little to no money out of the pocket. And we'll go over that in detail throughout this video. So stay tuned. It's not as long as you think. I'm going to make it real short and sweet. I will go into detail on how the VA loan helps. Now, during this video, I'm going to give you a step-by-step process that it takes to utilize your VA loan. Step one is to actually locate or request your COE. Your COE is your Certificate of Eligibility. If you haven't requested yet, then of course you can't locate it. There's ways to request it. My top two favorite ways to request it is first, contact a trusted lender. If you know a lender that specializes in VA loans, then that's the lender you want to go with as far as if anything really. If you want to ask them questions about the VA loan, if you want to actually use them as your trusted lender, you're going to want to make sure that they're experienced with the VA loan, because some lenders say they are experienced but don't know. And the VA loan, although it's very beneficial, you need to know how to use it to get all your benefits. And if you don't know all the tips and tricks and ways to maneuver the VA loan, then you could possibly be losing out on a lot of advantages and benefits. So make sure you have a trusted VA expert lender, a lender that's a VA expert, I should say, because they're the ones that are going to get you the best outcome for your buck. They'll know how to get your COE, your Certificate of Eligibility. The second way to do it is actually utilizing the VA e-benefits portal. I actually made a video on how to request your COE. Go watch that video. It's on my YouTube channel, and it'll tell you exactly how to go and request your COE utilizing the e-benefits portal. Now, if you use a lender, of course, you're going to have to call them, and I don't have a video for that, but I do have trusted lenders. So if you don't have a lender in mind, then comment below and we'll get you all hooked up. Step two, which is basically a part of step one, would be to find a VA approved lender, right in line with step one. If you already found a trusted lender that specializes in VA loans, step one and step two is already complete. They're going to be able to get you your COE, and now you can trust them when it comes to getting the best out of your VA loan, out of your benefits. Step three on the list is to actually get pre-approved. Now, once you contact this lender, they're gonna take you through the steps. But basically, a pre-approval is to align yourself and your future realtor with what properties you can afford. If you go out there and you look for a $700,000 house and you can't afford a $700,000 house, then it really doesn't help anybody. I mean, it doesn't help the lenders because they're not getting paid. It doesn't help you because you become delinquent in payments and eventually may lose a home because you just didn't do your numbers right in the beginning. Essentially, you want to get pre-approved so you can know what you can afford. Now, the VA loan actually has no limit. If you can afford it, if you can prove income with your W-2s or your 1099s, and you can prove consistent job history, and you can prove that you have enough to actually afford whatever you're applying for, the VA loan has no limit at all. There's an entitlement limit when it comes to utilizing your entitlement multiple times with one VA loan, and I go over that in great detail in other episodes. So please, if you have any questions about that, just go to my YouTube channel and you'll find where I specifically lay out the differences. But step three is one of the most important parts. You want to make sure you have enough money or you want to make sure you're planning and looking for the right thing. You don't want to waste your time, especially if you're in a crunch time, you're either PCSing or you're moving from different states or whatever the case may be. You don't want to waste time looking for something that you can't afford. So getting a pre-approval will align you with the right pathway to get you to that dream home that you want. Also, if you can't afford it, getting a pre-approval will let you know where you stand. It'll let you know what you can afford. And then if you don't decide to get a house, then now you know, okay, I need to save this much. I need to take my credit here. So getting a pre-approval helps in multiple different ways. So I definitely suggest that you do that as step 3 with your trusted VA expert lender. Step 4, after you find your lender, would be to find a trusted realtor, someone that has experience with VA loans, someone such as myself. I'm a veteran as well. I use the VA loan currently, and I am a real estate agent, so I understand the ins and outs of this game. I know how to get you what you want for the amount that you want it for, as long as you qualify. So find someone that has expertise in VA loan and talk to them. Get with them. Make sure you set up a consultation with them. Let them know your scenario. Let them know what's going on, how quick you're looking for a home, where you want to stay. Give them as much as details as possible so that they can help you find that dream home for you. And if you don't know a realtor, comment below and we'll get right to you. We'll set up a consultation and get you hooked up. Step 5 would be find that location or the home that you want, gather and make your offer package. You want to make sure that you talk with your realtor during this process, because there's certain things that you can receive as a benefit by utilizing the VA loan. One of those things are seller concessions. Now, everyone that purchases a home has the opportunity to receive seller concessions, and it's honestly up to the seller. But with the VA loan, you can use seller concessions for not only your closing costs, not only to pay your commission to your seller agent, but you can also use seller concessions for personal debt. A lot of people don't know that with the VA loan, you can use seller concessions to pay some of your personal debt. So that basically means the seller gives you money at closing to put towards debt that you have. Now, of course, the seller has to agree to it. Anything in real estate is basically negotiable, but that option is there. That option is not there from other loans. Definitely want to take that in consideration. Keep that in mind when you're utilizing a VA loan. Now, every case is different, and this goes case by case. So, I mean, if you don't qualify for it, meaning if your situation doesn't align to the point where you can use the concessions for your debt, then it won't work that way. But I want you to know that the option is there. If you don't know, then how are you going to figure out, right? How are you going to make sure you're in the proper position to actually utilize that seller concessions for a personal debt? Or if you don't want to use it for personal debt, you can use it for your commission. So you don't have to actually pay a commission to your realtor. And if you don't want to use it for that, you can use it towards closing costs. And closing costs is typically 1 to 3% of the purchase price, as well as your funding fee. If you didn't know, those are the things you can use your seller concessions for. I've personally helped veterans utilize this benefit to pay some personal debt. So I know for sure that this works. But you won't know this unless you have a trusted VA expert lender and or a trusted VA expert realtor, because this is not common knowledge. Like, it's not taught in real estate school. It's not taught in lender school. This is something that you have to gain by having experience. So make sure you find someone that has experience. Step 6, now it's time to do an appraisal, because with the VA loan, they're not going to give you the loan unless the home get appraised. That's one of the major differences. The VA is not going to give you a loan for a house that's not livable. The VA is not going to give you a loan for a house that has a leak in the roof. Everything needs to be almost top shape before they can, allow you to utilize the VA loan. They want to make sure that their home is livable. They want to make sure that nothing's going to happen as soon as you move in. The ceiling's going to fall in, right? So the VA requires that you use a VA certified appraiser. The VA will appoint an appraiser to actually come and appraise your home, right? So technically, your realtor doesn't need to know the appraiser that they use, but it'll be good if they had some knowledge on the area and worked with VA appraisals before. Because if they haven't, they kind of don't know what to look for, right? And if you've worked with VA appraisers before, you know what to look for. And if you know what to look for, then you kind of eliminates the time and money that it takes to first, hire the VA appraiser. And then the time that it takes for them to actually appraise the property. You don't want to waste any time if you're in a rush, first off, to purchase a home. Secondly, with this market, prices are rising on a daily rate as well as interest rates. The government guarantees 25% of that loan. That's why the VA loan is so different from other loans, because the government backs these loans. So the lenders are literally jumping over to each other to get with someone like us, a veteran that has access to the VA loan, because it's basically it's an easy day. Because honestly, if you are a veteran, more than likely you have a job or some source of income. If you're a veteran and you got out honorably, or if you're even still in the military, you have your VA benefits, no down payment, little to no closing costs, low interest rates. I mean, no PMI. So that makes the process so much simpler. It ensures the realtor and lender that this transaction will more than likely go through. As a realtor, I've worked with plenty of clients. We'll get all the way to closing and it just doesn't go through. It'll fall through because something with the banks, something with proven income, whatever the case may be. When you work with VA veterans in the VA loan or military personnel, the process is a little easier because, like I said, there's so many things that's already taken care of because of the VA loan. It really just leaves you with closing for costs, appraisals, and inspections. And honestly, like I said, you can use seller concessions for closing costs. The major thing is the appraisal and the appraisal. And since the VA has a certified appraiser that they send out, if they don't appraise it to qualify for the VA loan, then you just won't be getting that VA loan. So making sure you have the right realtor that knows how the appraisal works, that knows what they're looking for, they will eliminate the bad properties before it even gets to that stage. So that's why having a solid realtor that understands the VA process, as well as a lender that is an expert with VA loans, this helps streamline the process. Step 7 is once everything is complete, appraisal came through, offer was accepted, inspection is good to go. Now it's time to close the deal. Now is the time where you close the deal. Make sure you get the property, right? Because you don't want nobody to come in and sweep it right under you. You want to close that deal. And whatever it takes to close it, as long as it's aligned with what you can afford or what you qualify for, go ahead and close it, right? Because these times and this market today, you want to make sure you get what you want while you can. Because you never know when something may happen and you're not able to get it, right? So God forbid that happens. But if it does happen, you want to make sure you already took advantage of these times, right? You want to make sure you took advantage of your VA loan to the best extent that you can, right? Because if you wait, then you possibly could lose out on the potential to purchase property that could benefit you in the long run, or you might end up having to pay more, right? So waiting could literally lose you money, because the longer you wait, the more interest rates may rise, the more the price of the home may rise, the more locations may change. So you never really know what can happen from now until then. So I'm not saying it'll get worse or better, but what I'm saying is, why not purchase the home that you want, love, and like now while you can with your benefits? And then if you need to refinance later, you can. And honestly, the VA loan has a refinance portion as well. It's called the VA EARL. And with that refinance process, they literally cannot refinance you unless they're going to be saving you money. The only way you can qualify for a VA refinance, they have to be able to prove they can save you money. That's another thing about the VA loan that's just crazy to me. It's like it's so packed with, goodies. I can't even sit here and explain everything in one sitting. Honestly, I have to make another video to literally lay out all the VA loan requirements and benefits. And I'll actually have that on my page. So stay tuned for that, or subscribe. Or if you don't want to subscribe, just go through my channel and you'll find a video that specifically states the VA loan, the requirements, the highlights of it, and kind of go more into depth than I will on this video. But just know that there is a refinance portion of the VA loan. So make sure you close that deal. Step 8 is to move in. It's time to get your keys and go and move into your home. And honestly, right now, we have a great deal. I'm offering, as your agent, if I'm your agent, I'm offering $500 towards your move in, right? You're going to get $500 cash from me. Once we find your property, get all the documents signed, and the move-in day, you'll get cash, $500 from me to move in. that sounds good to you, you want to take advantage of that, comment below or check out the details and I'll have my information there.